Hello. Today with me I have my colleague, Miss Lauren Falzon, who is also a youth worker with Agenzia Zaza. And we will be discussing another initiative that GCHSS offers to its students. Welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
Lauren, we know that the EU directives always kind of promote youth involvement. And this was translated in Malta in the Education Act and Youth Policy, which all of them emphasize the same thing, that we need to involve youth more to become active citizens. As I was researching for this program, I found a quote by an American basketball player, John Wooden, who said, "Young people need models, not critics." So in your role as a teacher, first and foremost, and as a youth worker, what is your take on this quote?
I think it's a very good quote, obviously, because role models should be the ones who the young people look up to. Now, it is our very responsibility to make the young people feel good about themselves by criticizing young people, especially in their puberty age, in their adolescence, when they are sort of limited because they are not very secure about their self-esteem and something like that. Criticizing them makes it much, much worse. So we have to, as youth workers, especially first and foremost, also as teachers, but I am in the role more of a youth worker. It is very important to let the young people know their very good things about themselves, that they have the potential that they do. And by showing them that, the sky is the limit. Not to everybody, the potential is different, but that they can eventually reach their potential, whatever that might be.
It's good to dream and pursue that
Exactly.
dream. Yeah. Okay.
Dream, believe, and achieve.
Yeah. So you've been now managing and running the Youth Hub
for 5 years
for
now.
5 years. Can you explain how this initiative came about?
Okay, so as you said, you mentioned the policies. One of the youth policy in Malta emphasized that as well. And Agenzia Zaza, the agency which I come from, which is the National Youth Agency, decided to open these youth hubs in post-secondary schools. The agency decided to do this because it promotes, the agency has a lot of opportunities and programs for young people of all ages. When we're saying all ages, that is youth ages, that is between 13 and 30 in Malta. And it provides a lot of opportunities and programs as well. Opportunities like mobility, for example, opportunities like programs about literature, about music, about art. There's a plethora of different programs that Agenzia Zaza offers. And unfortunately, even though they are very well advertised in the website, in Agenzia Zaza website, and on our Facebook pages, unfortunately, the young people do not always go on these websites to look for opportunities. So Agenzia Zaza was looking into this and thought that maybe if the young people are not coming to us, why don't we go to them? And we came up with the idea, Agenzia Zaza came up with the idea of opening youth hubs in post-secondary schools. GCHSS was one of the very first to have, I think it was the first, in fact, to have a youth hub which opened every day. We've been here now for the past 5 years. And the idea was, as we were saying, that we act as a satellite for Agenzia Zaza. That is, that the young people that come to the Youth Hub would know about these possibilities and these all these programs and the opportunities that they are given. And apart from that, that they have a safe space where to go during their free time and breaks and stuff like that.
Actually, I think it's a very good idea because
it is.
Being here on campus means that students find it easier to come, and like you said, they get to know about these programs.
And it was very much needed, I believe, as well.
So. Because sometimes, yes, we tend to become lazy and getting out of the safety of the home or the comfort of whatever you're doing might be a bit harder. So if a student is to come at the Youth Hub, what sort of initiatives, what happens inside the Youth Hub?
Okay, so as I said before, the Youth Hub is a safe space for all the young people. And when I say all the young people, we mean all the young people. It is a very accepting space. So if you're quiet, if you're shy, if you're outgoing, if you're bubbly, if you're tall, if you're short, I mean, whatever you are, however you are more than welcome inside the Youth Hub. Basically, we have consoles like Xbox and PlayStation, which the young people obviously spend a lot of time playing on, but we do give them this so that if they want to come and enjoy it together with their friends, they can. Apart from that, we also have billiards, table tennis, table soccer, air hockey, and we've also created a chill out area. It's a kind of area where the young people can actually chill out. I mean, they can stay there, they can play with their friends, they can stay on their laptops, watch movies. Sometimes they get guitars and they play. Sometimes you're just sitting there and you make new friends. So I think that is what happens. Also, the first time that's the first few months that I was here, obviously I came into an empty room and I had to figure out what I was going to put inside the Youth Hub. And I had managed to get some bean bags from what that I had from another post that I used to work in at Agencia Zaza, and I just scattered them on the floor. And the young people used to come and say, what do we have here? What is this room going to be used for? And I told them that it's going to be a Youth Hub, and they used to come almost every day to just sit on the bean bags and talk. And that shows you that there was a need for the young people to have this kind of space. And when we did when then all these things were coming inside the Youth Hub, the games and the consoles, I realized that those young people who used to come to just talk and talk about everything. The Youth Hub is not a place where you go just to tell your problems, because we have other services at school where you can go. We have the guidance and we have the counselor. But the youth worker is there to listen to you in whatever you want to say. I mean, be it a good thing, be it a bad thing. It could be a problem, but it could be something else. It could be saying about, I don't know, the last holiday you took in the mountains, for example. Exactly. So I said, we need to create the space also for the young people. And in fact, the Youth Hub gives that space to the young people every day, so that if they don't just want to come and play, they just can find us there. There's a specific time, which we might talk about it later on, in the day when they know that they can just come there and they will find no noises and just a safe space, a safe time where they can discuss.
And they're free to express whatever they want. So that's also important.
Yes.
Obviously, we're saying that students will go there if they have free lessons.
Of course.
So we're not implying that students will miss out lessons to go to the Youth Hub. But how do you think a student who doesn't come to the Youth Hub, as opposed to a student who makes use of the Youth Hub, do you see a difference? So what kind of benefits would a young person who utilizes the Youth Hub have, and as opposed to somebody who has never set foot on in the Youth Hub?
As we said, obviously, as like any other school, GCHSS focuses a lot on the academic, like any other school, and that is why they're here to get their MathTech certificate and stuff like that. However, like what all schools are trying to do, even now at the moment, because we're seeing the need for it, to be a holistic person, we need more stuff than just the academic. I mean, especially employers today. They, for example, if they have this vacancy for some kind of job, if they need to have, if those applying need to have a degree, for example, everybody is going to have a degree. So what will they look for? They will look for other skills, okay? And when you are not just going to school to get your academic certificate, however, you are going to places like the Youth Hub, and we have other places, but today we're talking about the Youth Hub, where you can meet other people, you can make new friends, you can socialize more, you can get these soft skills, even these 21st century skills that we're talking about at the moment. You can try and get them from this place. We get them not just by being there, because as I said, the Youth Hub is a place where young people can go and relax and enjoy it and play. However, before I was mentioning that some young people used to come there to talk.
Yes.
every day in our youth hub, we stop for an hour. We stop it doesn't mean that we close. We stop from using
fun activities.
exactly. And we have what I call quality time activities, quality time sessions every day between 11 and 12. It is until last year, we used to have a lot of speakers, ranging from the well-being of the student, because I believe that if the young person believes in himself, if the young person accepts himself as he is, and knows who he is, he's self-aware of who he really is, and knows where he wants to go, only that is the way how he can move forward and progress. So we try to start from building the self, and then we used to get speakers about mental health, sexual health, for example. We used to get speakers about careers as well, about employability skills. But apart from those, when we do not have speakers coming, we just sit down. I have a list of topics which interest the young people, and obviously we can discuss them. However, we tend to also focus a lot on immediacy. So if a young person comes with a problem, or comes with, I don't know, with something that's bothering him, or with something that they've heard on the news and they want to discuss it, we are there to discuss it. And that is the importance of the youth worker being very knowing what is going on, so that she can sort of, be there and relate. And because here we're not talking with young children who you can tell them anything. I mean, you have to be really, really prepared.
Yes.
So that's,
Otherwise, you can't be a moderator.
Exactly. And you have to be a role model, as we said before.
Yes,
so, and it's not always easy, because as a youth worker, as I told you, I strive to have to build these relationships with young people. So you tend to, and because they are a bit older than the usual, the secondary school students, they tend to almost like become your friends, and you tend to start sort of, you start loving them, and they start loving you back, and and so you have to be really, really careful about boundaries, which you have to keep in mind that you're still a professional, so you need to know that, and you need to tell them there are boundaries. However, I think the Youth Hub gives you all these, I think it's a very good initiative.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, whenever I come, it's always packed, so
Thank God,
it shows that students are interested in coming there. Actually, if a student wants to come to the Youth Hub, first of all, you've already said that anybody, as long as you're a youth person. I'm not I'm not a young person, but you still don't chuck me out.
But you're still welcome. In fact, in reality, I think it would be a very good idea if teachers who are free would come, and there are some of them who do come, and even guidance teachers, for example, because what happens inside the Youth Hub is this. Sometimes in a very informal way, you're playing billiards with something, and they start talking about things, okay? And then you start realizing that there's an issue, an underlying issue that they want to talk about it. And sometimes I do tell them, listen, I think, because as you are saying, I have a lot of young people there, so I cannot do one-to-one with a young person, so I have to refer. And sometimes when we refer to guidance teachers and to the counselor, for example, they do not always sort of say, okay, I would go. Because for them, the fact that they are there and they didn't have to knock, they didn't have to make an appointment, for them it's just there. We were talking, as we said before, we're just like friends, sort of. And so these things are, they come up and we discuss them. So sometimes it's easier for them.
And what time are you open?
So we're open every day between 8 and 2. As we said, they can come there obviously only when they are free, and break time.
Yeah.
Okay. So because when we have lessons, they should be attending the lessons.
Yes. So Lauren, first of all, thank you very much. Maybe you have a last appeal to students who have not yet made use of the Youth Hub.
Okay. First of all, I think the appeal would be that you have to go. You have to come. Because it is a very safe place. It is fun to be there. The youth workers are really okay, are really nice. They can understand you perfectly. I think what we also need to say is that all the initiatives of Aġenzija Żgħażagħ can also be found on the website, so they can look for them, and also our pages on Facebook. And my last thing I would say to all young people is to believe in yourself more. We all have our potentials, but we need to strive to take out that potential and be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will end this discussion with a quote which is in line with what you are saying, and it's by J.K. Rowling, the famous Harry Potter author, who said, "Age is foolish and forgetful when it underestimates youth." Thank you.